Cowboy Bror coming at you live from my Las Vegas studio. Just got back from a trip to Nashville, so I'm still all cowboyed the F up. So, howdy, partners, ladies. You digging the look? Is it a look? All right, let me fire up the old chat here. See who's here. I'm not going to wear it the entire stream, but I'm having a blast. I think it looks good. I think it's a look. I need to find a hat band, don't you think? What kind of hat band should I get? Let's see the microphone. The microphone's like all up in the grill, but I think it sounds freaking awesome. But you're going to have to tell me. All right, see, now you can't see me at all when I put my head down. So did everyone enjoy the live stream from, they call it Nash Vegas. A friend of mine turned me on to that fact. They're like, it's Nash Vegas. I'm like, really? Okay. All right, so let me say hello to everyone while I'm still in cowboy mode here, and then we'll get busy. You saw the thumbnail. We got some exciting stuff to do. Got a guest on, my buddy Ron, a recent transplant here to Las Vegas, and I got a slew of questions for him, and he's going to answer them. Maybe if he graces us with a little more of his time, he'll even answer some of your questions. It's not exactly an AMA, but yeah. All right, let's see. Maria's here. Jim is not here, but he's here in spirit. Scott, what's going on, my friend? Janice, how you doing? Say hello to everyone over there. My greetings, my felicitations, and my love. Sony, Mary, let's see, Venus, got all the mods here. And we're going to do a Meet the Mods soon, too. So when we can all coordinate and have all the mods on at one time, I could set this up like almost like a Zoom and whatnot, so we'll have some fun. That way you get to see who is on the hammer. N90, wannabe, Sylvia, Marie, Bella, I like saying that. Angie's here, Tom Mack is here. Let's see, keep them coming. You do have to be a subscriber if you want to get in on the chat, and if you do want to get in on some shout outs and whatever, just join in the conversation. Angie and Angela, someone got a twofer. Chanel, Fischel, Keith Bubba. And let me get a mic check. Tell me how it sounds. William, Gail, Art Flowers is here. All right, keep them coming. Porkenstein, Kyle, what's going on, Kyle? All right, let's do a. I don't know why. In this case, glass mugs, but glass it just makes me feel connected to my coffee for some reason. As you saw in the last studio live stream, this is an old mug from the Frontier that was gifted to me. I think it's absolutely friggin' awesome. All right, I don't want to spill it though. I think I overfilled a little bit. Beachfront Java is in the house. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Val Marie, Christine. People don't like Nash Vegas if they've lived there a while. Is that like derogatory? I mean, everyone kept saying it. Oh, it's like Nash Vegas. I don't mind saying Nashville. I freaking enjoyed it. We'll do a little recap if you want at the end. And you guys came along. I thought it was just fun AF. All right. Dun, 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 dun. I'm trying to go. I think I just about got everyone. What do we got? 76 people. I see when I'm looking down, you can't see me no more. So let me do that. This is the happy cowboy. When you put it on the back of your head, such as that, that's a happy cowboy look. Jim Wolf is in the house. Yeah, I'm a happy cowboy. Shout out to Californication. I love me some Cali. Not 100% down with some of the stuff you got going on out there, but I friggin' love it regardless. Arliss, what's happening? Aloha to you too. Tom Helm, Gary M. All right, let's see. Keep them coming. I think I'm almost caught up. Diane O. And Ron Radio's here. What a surprise. All right, so yeah, that looks a little corny. That looks like kind of like a a goober gomer cowboy. I like it down, you know. I'm more like this. You gotta work to look me in the eye. But I'm digging it. So let me get a mic check. How does a mic sound? Is it too close? Is it too obnoxious? Is it too something? I think my treble. My Tribble's gonna wear the hat. He wore the last hat. He's not a hat. He's not a hat Tribble. He's not a hat Tribble. Let me see if I can calm him down with the hat. Oh, he likes this hat. He likes the hat. That's freaking awesome. All right, bro. Oh, he wants to stay on camera. So he's getting pissed. Come on. Calm down, bro. You got a hat now. He knows I'm going to put him aside. All right. See you in a bit, hat. All right. He looks like Cowboy Cousin It, though. Cowboy Tribble. All right. Calm down. Calm down while I invite everyone to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. And if you'd like to support the channel, you know how to go about doing that. Super chat while we're live, some super thanks after. You can click on any of those links in the description below, and I got the Cash Apps, the Venmos, I got everything, and I got a whole Amazon store full of cool stuff. And I think Amazon told me, what am I supposed to tell you from Amazon? Prime Day, like an early supposed Black Friday, starts tomorrow. And yeah, the 10th and 11th. So if you click on any one of my links down there, you don't have to buy anything from me, but you load up your cart with like $100,000 worth of stuff, I get like 1% when you check out tomorrow or Friday. Cool. Keeps the wheels rolling. Tony MTZ. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Carolyn's in the house. But no one's told me what my mic sounds like. It sounds tinny but sharp. Shouldn't sound tinny but sharp. Depends what speakers it's going over. It shouldn't sound tinny now. All right, I'm going to move it a little out of my grill here. There we go. Without losing connectivity. Sometimes when I like jostle it too much, it gets pissed off. All right, we're on a 5x5. Sounds fine. It sounds good. Cool. Let me get the jaunty tilt going. Let's fire up our Pellegrino. And then we're going to say hello to a friend of mine. Pellegrino and water at the same time. Water. All right, so if you have any questions, if you ever thought about moving to Las Vegas, if it ever crossed your mind, I have on my friend who's a recent transplant here to Las Vegas. Like I said, I got some questions. He's got the answers. And maybe if he's so inspired, he will answer some questions at the end. So let me flip over to this angle, which is friggin' boss. All right. Let's get angleized. All right. That should sound good. All right, cool. Let me get all situated here. Let me get my stuffs. Let me get my script out. Let me get my Pellegrino. Let me get my coffee. Let me get my questions. This is going to be fun. I love doing this. And let me put in my headset, because that is important. I tried toning down the lights in the back a little bit. I think it's still a little sharp. Might have to tone it down one more notch. All right, so without any further ado, I hate saying that. I hate saying further ado. Without wasting any more time, I'm wanting to get right into this. So let's go. And there's my buddy, Ron. Everyone say hello to Ron. Ron. Mic check, Ron. I don't think we hear you, Ron. 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 We're not hearing you, Ron. Uh-oh. Having a little technical difficulties. Not hearing Ron. I see you, but I can't hear you. Nope. Now Ron's gone. Let me flip on out of there while he gets that squared away. All right, a little bit of technical difficulties. It's all good. Let me just give him another second to get situated over there. Thought we had everything worked out, but evidently we do not. Okay. All right, so I'm going to hang out with you. We could do news first. Yeah, no bueno. Dude, I got miles of stuff to talk about. Let me check one more time. I'm gonna put yous on a slight mute. Let's check out what Ron's doing over there. Do 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 do. Mm-hmm. Brother Ron, where you at? Dun, 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 dun. Well, it looks like we lost Ron, unfortunately, but I hope we get him back or get him back on another show. I don't know what happened over there, but we were rocking it good. Suddenly it's not rocking, so it is what it is. How many bowls do I have behind me? Asked Venus. There's 3 back there. There's an A, a G, and an F. And I have like 4 more, but they don't fit in there. And Christine says, Bror, like your shirt, looking Jake. I like that. Thank you very much. I appreciate you noticing. It's a little different. You know, I usually tend to rock darker colors, but I don't know if it's showing up. But that's like a little bit of a blue in there. Cindy's in the house. Okay. Ron is gone. All right. I'm going to check one more time to see if we can get him back. If not, we'll get something else going. Mic check, Ron.
Hello, can you hear me, Bror?
All right, now I got you. All right, you're back. All right, I'm going to flip right over to you right now.
Oh, good.
All right.
You can hear me.
I hear you loud and clear. All right, let me just switch off a second. Ron's issues are figured out, so we are ready to go. I'm excited. Let me get my questions. We hear them. We see them. None other than my buddy Ron. Say hello to Ron real quick. I'm going to put him up on the big screen. What's going on there, Ron?
Hello, Maria. Hello, all my friends that I talk to on a daily basis. You finally get to see me in 3 dimensions.
What's happening? What do you got over your shoulder there? Tell us what that is.
That is a schematic of the Starship Defiant, the greatest starship in the history of all the starships. I'm slowly rebuilding I had a whole Defiant room, and I hope I've shared it on the Bror Nation. But I've just shared it on conventions. But I had a whole room made up to look like you were on the bridge of the Defiant, using graphics and the button displays, which are all available. So awesome. I look forward to building that. You'll see all of that.
Cool. As most of you know, I am a Star Trek fan. I don't know about fanatic, but pretty freaking close. And so is my buddy Ron. He cosplays Captain Sisko from Deep Space Nine. Ron, before we get started, why don't you go ahead and shout out your channel where people can find you, and I'll drop a link in later.
My
Of course.
channel is Ron Radio, like the name. I went to school for radio, TV, film, and always had a passion for it. So on my channel, I do interviews. The latest thing when I've been unboxing things. I've been taping myself, so I've taped a lot in the old room that looks like that you'll see more of me opening Star Trek collectibles, interviewing Star Trek collectibles, interviewing Star Trek celebrities, and just things around Vegas.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, I've been noticing a lot of what you posted. Speaking of Vegas, I got a big old list here. You ready to get started?
Yes, Vegas is one of my favorite things to talk about, and now I live here.
Cool. All right. First question, the obvious question. You're a recent transplant here to Vegas. How long have you lived here exactly now?
I have lived here for 34 days.
Oh, just over a month. Cool.
Which I'm counting because my record is 28 days. And I recommend that if you're moving somewhere, try to stay there at an extended period of time. You want to, look at the neighborhoods, look at the neighborhood you're moving into, make sure there's no, as Bror would say, fluky dookies going on around the outside of it. And you want to just get a feel of it. So right before I moved, I did a 28-day stint over Christmas. And then each time, 3 trips leading up to it, I saw apartments. And I was serious about it.
And I would also recommend, I'm sure Ron will agree, that you not only look at it during the daytime, but you take a little time and go see your complex or your neighborhood at night too. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. First question would be, what made you want to move to Las Vegas?
There's songs about it, but the atmosphere. I don't gamble and I don't drink, but I love to be around celebration, good things happening, the excitement of a sports book on Super Bowl Sunday. And it's a city that's innovating, and when I see people come off the plane as tourists, they're just going, wow. So I wanted to be a part of that community that just makes everybody go, wow.
Yeah, that's a great answer.
Oh, and the weather. The weather.
Yeah, and the weather, of course. And if do you mind telling everyone where you moved from?
I moved from New Jersey, born and raised. My dad, who was my best friend and mentor, we spent many wonderful years in New Jersey. It's a great place to live, but just open fields of trees and grass and not much else going on. So, I had been planning it. I had a job at the time where I could take a lot of extended vacation. So, I would do 2 weeks here, a week there, and then go back to the job and then just obsess about Vegas. So I don't know if anybody else is that way.
Yeah, I think quite a few million people are also, and a lot of them don't have the courage to do what you did and pack up and leave. So, which brings me to my next question. How difficult was the moving and acclimating and settling in process so far? I know you're not probably anywhere near done, but at the 1 month mark, how would you say difficulty just moving here, getting here, finding places, getting your utilities set up, just basically everything you need to restart your life here and settle in? How difficult or how easy was it?
I'll talk about, the Vegas part. The Vegas part was remarkably easy. This town is set up for you to kind of get a fast track apartment if you qualify. So that part of it, the utilities, the only problem I've had is we've talked about the gas.
Yeah.
And the
$6 a gallon is no picnic, yeah.
The DMV was the hardest part. If you're coming here, try to schedule before you get here. That's how backed up they are.
Did you get through that already? The DMV stuff all done?
Yeah.
And the utilities were ready, so you're pretty much settled in.
Yeah, the apartment helped me with all of that.
Okay.
One thing I thought was unusual, when you get here, you have to have an energy number. You have to actually go and register with the energy company, and they give you a number that's like that's your number.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, but I mean, it was fine. Other than that, car insurance is going to be more expensive, 50 to 60. It's worth it. I live in Vegas. I'll make it work.
Yeah, that's one of the questions too, a cost comparison that you're finding moving here. So moving in, settling in, not too shabby. Okay. What so far is your favorite part of living here in Vegas?
Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll be a little bit sad, and then I just open a door and palm trees, and then it's just when I open my door and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm here, and it's not a dream. So just definitely being here, actually going outside and seeing, because I kind of lived in a kind of the middle of nowhere, lots of homes, suburban area, just seeing so much to do. There's a mall across the street. There's a Best Buy. I chose to be in the shadow of the strip. So like I can look over and know it's there even if I'm not there.
Right. That's kind of the situation I'm in. I bet if we took slingshots, we could hit each other's houses. We'd have to fly one over the strip, though, but I'm sure we could hit each other's places. He's like almost proportionally to the east side as I am so far to the right side. I mean, to the west side. Okay. Now, the next logical question is, what is your least favorite thing about living here so far, if you even have one?
The healthcare,
and you can be honest.
The healthcare, and that was never really a concern. The healthcare was, it's expensive here, and it's not as good from what I could see. So that has me concerned. You really can't go to the emergency room at all, unless you just want to pay a lot of money. They actually have little mini emergency rooms called the
quick cares and those type of things. Yeah.
But other than that, that's really my one concern. I had pretty inclusive healthcare, and but other than that, it's just like I'll just meet those challenges. The actual leaving home part was hard, because because I came from New Jersey, it's the other side of the country, so you're pretty much saying goodbye to everybody unless you are going to call them and do video chats with them on a regular basis.
Yeah, there's an expression here that's been around forever. They say, if you're going to die, you better fly. In essence, we do not have the best healthcare system. Our healthcare system is good when it comes to trauma. We are definitely set up for trauma, and that was proven by October 1st. We were able to get all 600 wounded people taken care of, but you will wait. They will triage you, and unless, you're visibly dripping something, you're not going to get seen anytime soon, unfortunately, in our system here. Mental health is supposed to be pretty good. Overall health, I'm not too sure about. So, yeah, you're 100% correct about that. All right. Next question, along the same vein, would be, excuse me, what has been the most surprising thing that you've either encountered or found out or figured out about living in Las Vegas?
I can't really say. I was well prepared for this move. Nothing really comes to mind other than I'd say the healthcare. That was a bit of a shock, but
that a town of 2-point-something million people could still have like underdeveloped healthcare. Yeah, I would tend to agree with that too.
Oh, what really shocked me? It actually learning from you just the pay scales of these casinos, because there was a TV show called Las Vegas that ran 5 seasons, and it made casino work look lucrative and sexy. And it just doesn't seem to be the reality of it. And
No.
I'm
I
sure,
mean, there's some positions people will always lean towards, oh, the valets are making 100,000 a year. They're making all the money in the tips and this and that. But in reality, that's dated information because most of the valets here in Las Vegas are run by a third party company. So, maybe they're paying them $10 an hour plus tips. Cocktail waitresses, maybe, but overall, the average pay is $15 an hour, possibly under, which is, yeah, that it's not as sexy and glamorous. There was a time though, um, when two people who were dealers can live a comfortable life. They would cumulatively make, in the low six figures, have the house, have the car. But as I'm going to show in a news piece in a bit, the average cost of a house here has gone astronomical. And then compound that with 7% interest on top of it. Most people these days are living in apartments, unfortunately. That's just the sad truth. All right, let me see. All right, I'm going to get to questions in a bit, but a couple more for Ron. Comparatively, how is your cost of living here versus New Jersey? Overall or individual? Like, what is the highs and what are the lows so far?
I would say from what I was doing, because I owned a house, so if I had sold my house, gotten an apartment in New Jersey, the apartment here is cheaper than what I could have lived in New Jersey. So the cost of living for an apartment is cheaper. I would say, I have to get back to you on that, but I think maybe within the $400 or $500 range that it's more expensive than it was in New Jersey. And I'm like you, I'm pretty frugal and I stretch a dollar.
I say I'm frugal with no shame whatsoever. What about food costs? How do you find the food costs comparatively?
I haven't opened up my kitchen yet. Like that's the one thing, and maybe in a couple weeks or so. But I'd say the food is comparable. It's just that they'll still get you in this town with a drink if you've got a budget for a friendly meal. So yeah, I would say about the same because you had Little Caesars in New Jersey, so yeah, about the same. Except I have Carl's Jr.'s here and something called Jack in the Box. I haven't tried that. I want to try it just because.
How about, which I'm personally curious about, what are the utilities? Have you gotten your first utility bill yet?
Yes, and my first utility bill was $80, but I also have a one-bedroom apartment. So from what I was looking at with, what you said with your utility bills, if you're going with a smaller space, you can keep it. You can control it a little bit.
Under 100? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, mine is just out of control, but I like it a little cold and my place is a little bigger, but my last utility bill in New York, which was Lilco Power Company, was about $750, for my house. And my house wasn't huge. It was like 2,300 square feet, but it was $750 a month on average. And that used to just kill me. So I found the utilities cheaper out here, but lately they've just been skyrocketing too. And of course, we joke about the gas all the time, which is getting kind of nuts.
That is one thing that concerns me, but I've tried to build in and save. If you're moving, save as much as you can just for an emergency. Things will just kind of go up overnight here without any warning, but I think it's settled down a little bit. Because before I moved here, the rents just doubled from what they were. But we're pretty sure it's not going to do that the way it did it.
Right. Do they hit you with all the, I know the area you're in, did they hit you with all the cam fees and all that type of stuff, the common maintenance fees and this fee and that fee on top of the rent? Because I was speaking to someone who said they're paying like $1,200, but then, their first month there, the surprise was there was about $200 worth of additional fees: a trash fee, a utility fee, a gas fee, a common area fee, a lighting fee, a barbecue fee, fees and fees and fees. Are they doing that to you over there too?
They are not. And I want to say, I asked them and I just said, listen, just be upfront with me. Just how much is it going to cost? Do you know how much I have? And I asked a couple people a couple different ways, and now I'm, a month and a half or so into it. So no, I mean, I just have a standard utility fee, and well, one other thing to consider: the water is included. And water here, if you have a property, they're doing all kinds of weird witchcraft with it, where it's like they're just like, well, you spent you owe $5,000, and it's like, what? Use that much?
Yeah, and that's before them wanting to actually stifle it now. They're saying, local homeowners, and I don't know if it's the whole apartment or whatever, conservation efforts have to be put in place to save the water and all this other stuff. So I don't know about you, but the first thing I do when I get a new shower head is rip that little water saver out of there, because I like some water pressure. All right, let's see. Okay, two more questions, and then if you don't mind, would you mind taking a few questions?
Sure.
All right, cool. All right. Now, based on your 34 days here, would you recommend people move to Las Vegas? All personal feelings aside, from a objective point of view, would you recommend Las Vegas as a place to relocate?
Absolutely. Just take the time to know what you're getting into. At any moment, there could just be celebration because it's Las Vegas. Yeah, I'm talking about supermarkets, stores, buying jackets. People are generally pretty happy here. You will see the homelessness. And you will see people with gambling problems. I see people passed out sleep all of the time, like at slot machines. Some people just can't handle that everything's 24 hours. So if you can gamble, drink, and go home at night, yeah, definitely. But if you go on like a 3 or 4 day bender, maybe it might not be for you, because I see a lot of people that just can't handle it.
All right, quick question that I just thought of. So far, what is your favorite, downtown or the Strip, and which are your favorite properties so far?
I would say, well, right off the bat, my two favorite properties are Four Queens and Binions, and their sister properties. They generally, if you want to do extended stays over the holidays, they will generally have cheaper rates, and then there's just no resort fee. So they have reasonable rates. They'll treat you well. And Binions reminds me of being in my old house. Like, you go upstairs to your room. So, I mean, Bror talks about walking down the street, look at it like you want to buy it.
Walk down this side like you own it, and look at that side like you want to buy it.
Binions, like, I almost feel like I'm working there, because like I go up to my room like above like where everybody's working. and it's just the proximity to the casino in Fremont is just so close. But yeah, so those are definitely my favorite properties. I would say the Strip or downtown, it definitely edges out downtown because of value. But sometimes I get mad at downtown, and then I'm just going to the Strip. Like, I missed you too. And like, that was down the street from, well, it was not that far from me. And it's just like, I could have just been there. So I didn't go downtown for a week because I was mad at downtown. But
We got to go downtown soon and have some fun. I think maybe, I don't know, if you're not busy, maybe Friday, maybe we'll do something like that. We'll see.
Absolutely. I joined the Neon Museum and the Mob Museum.
You join them?
Yeah, yeah.
How
So if
much
you
were
know,
those?
the Mob Museum is 90 and the Neon Museum is 75.
And you can
And I
go
had
as
never
often as you
been.
want?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'd never been to both, and I'm a big fan of Neon. Every time I came here, it would just go. I knew those were, kind of being, funded by the government, so they weren't going to close. So every time I came here, I would just go, I don't want to go to a museum. I'm not here to learn. But now that I live here, I'm here to learn. So
Cool. And all right, I'm gonna ask you. I keep thinking of questions, but I could go on and on and on. Two things. So far, what has been the most unusual, strange, exciting, or whatever experience that's happened so far? Just something that surprised you, caught you off guard, or just like, what? Anything so far?
I have to go back to the U2 one because U2. I don't know if everybody understands. They just got up on the. It's U2. They're known everywhere. They just got up on a flatbed truck and just rolled down the street and filmed a music video. And I'm still like in shock with that. It's just like, so I mean, just that thing. Oh, and then how the strip has been assimilated by F1.
Yeah,
I hear. And I'm like, there's the volcano, there's the Bellagio, and then maybe 2 days after I got here, it's like there's this big cage, and if you're not here, it goes from one end of the strip to the other. It's
to the other. I know. Just in the 3 days I was in Nashville, I came back and I was floored by it. All right, one more question, which is, what advice would you have for someone who is moving to Vegas or contemplating moving to Vegas from someone who's actually had the testicular fortitude to do so?
It's a process. Even leaving a house that you've been in for a long time, it's just a process. So it took me years of thinking about it, years of planning to do it one way, and in life kind of threw me another opportunity. So just, if you want to do it, don't give up on it, because it took me, I'd say, a good 7 or 8 years to really figure it out, because you actually have to figure it out once you get here, where you're going to live. What are you going to do with your house if you own it? You obviously want to get top dollar for it, that sort of thing. So I would say just take time and plan a few extended trips, 2 weeks if you're used to doing one, and just really kick the tires and really look under the hood and make sure it's what you want to do. But the excitement of it, I would say definitely do it. Just don't give up on it. It might take you years.
Awesome. All right. Two things I'm going to, if you don't mind, while you're answering a question, I am going to fire up your YouTube channel, and I'm going to flash that on the screen, and we'll take a look at some stuff, because I know you're not going to send me any copyright claims, so we can go ahead and do that. Right? I agree with pals.
No.
And, all right, good. I'm tired of the copyright claims, so this will be like, I think, the first time I'm actually going to show someone's YouTube video. They'll probably send you something saying that Bror Fredrik is stealing your stuff. Just decline it. Okay. Now, people in the audience, if you would like to ask Ron a question about, moving to Vegas, the trials and tribulations thereof, or whatever you happen to be thinking. This is your opportunity now. And I'll scroll back too, because I did see a couple questions. And we'll see what's what. Okay, let's see. Yes, the track. Good choices downtown. I'm going through the chat here. Let's see. Yeah, Jim Wolf says he was on mine, $750 a month. And that was like years ago. I couldn't even imagine what it's like now. Mark W., everyone says groceries went up everywhere. Well, questions for Ron while we got him. He is in demand. I think he's going to be on CBS right after this. Heard healthcare is expensive. Yeah, it is stupid expensive. You know what? My chat might be. I forgot to like my own video. My chat might be whenever a commercial pops up. All right, here we go. Now we got some questions. Salt Lake Snow Bunny says, "Nice to see your face." So let me show it to you up close. There you go. That's Ron. And has it been easy? Mary asks, has it been easy to make friends with your neighbors? Or how about make friends in general so far? That's a good question.
So far, it hasn't been the easiest. But I came with a lot of friends and with, and you know, I knew a lot of people from going to the Star Trek conventions and whatnot out here. So, like, I had existing friends I met Bror, but it hasn't been the easiest to make new friends. I'm hoping the museums will change that because you kind of want to meet, as a local, you want to meet people that are local for the most part. So but it's only been like 33 days.
Right. I mean, sometimes, there's two schools of thought with that, honestly. Some people would say, hey, I'll live next to a cemetery because nice, quiet neighbors, and other people want to know them all. I'm kind of in between. We see each other, we nod, good morning, but that's about it. And, I will say I do have a couple of neighbors who I can say, listen, I'm going to be gone for 48 hours. You keep an eye on my place, and vice versa. They'll do the same. And, we've exchanged numbers. I've exchanged numbers with a few people that I don't even know their names, unfortunately. And it sucks after a couple of years that you don't know their name because, like, how do you go back and ask? We've been talking for 2 or 3 years, and what was your name again? That's on me. That was kind of awkward on my part. Paul, a.k.a. Commander Kane, says, Ron, we're at the Star Trek. I think it's supposed to be, were you at the Star Trek mission at the Rio?
I was at Star Trek. Oh yeah, mission. Yeah, whatever because they can't call it the Star Trek convention right now. It's a whole license.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I was there.
Frickin' Paramount.
That convention was actually because I had come with my dad before, and actually Star Trek brought me out here indirectly because I first came to see the experience. Both times my dad bought me, and I had the type of father that was just like, "Hey, bring me the grades." And so I want to go see this thing, and fell in love with the town. But I've been going to that one for 9 years, 8 years, 9. So I come out here for that, and now I don't even really have to get a hotel room if I don't want to.
All right. Oh, we hung out at the last one. How did that go? You were coming out of the facilities, and I was entering them, and we literally like smack dab right into each other. I was like, Ron, what's going on? And then we spent the whole afternoon hanging out there. Mike W. asks, what are the pitfalls to avoid moving to Vegas that you may or may not have experienced?
That I might not have experienced. Well, I might not know them yet.
Did you encounter any obstacles? I think that would be a better way to say it. Perhaps. I don't know.
The drive. the drive was really, but it's just, this, I had been coming out here. It got to the point I'd been coming out so much, it was starting to feel like a second home.
Right.
So once I got here, I didn't really have that moment where it's just like, oh, I'm in. It's like, okay, great, I'm here. I'm where I belong finally.
Nice.
But I would say just to watch your gambling and drinking, and even meeting people. You have to be careful because
100%.
It is Las Vegas, so you are in the jungle to a certain extent. Just the basics. Watch your wallet. Like I'm always, that type of thing. Front pocket.
Yeah, I'm not easy to trust too many people out here either, because there's a lot, you know, because of the things you're talking about, because of gambling, because of alcohol and everything else. A lot of people are, there's a, how would I say? There's an, in certain cases, among certain people, there is an air of desperation where people will be absolutely willing to do, and of course, you know, the drugs and stuff like that. On top of that, there's an air of um, desperate to a certain degree that will push people to do things that are predatory, and they will do just about anything to either get the next fix, get even at the tables, or have the next drink at your expense, and they'll do it with a smile on your face. And that includes both men and women. You know, it's just a little bit of a hustle out here. So, yeah, you do have to be careful. Of course. Let me see if there was any other questions. Let's see. Paul wants to know, Ron, what's your favorite Fremont Street band?
Spandex Nation!
Awesome.
Someone did bring up that there was a little drama with that band. I think it was Laren. The lead singer is, he, you know, calls himself Kid Hollywood, and he runs the whole thing. He's the one that sings it. He replaced everybody, and I can't. That band, like, it hasn't sounded better. Like, he replaced them with people that are just as good, and it was just, I wouldn't have even noticed. But, you know, he's great. Like, from what I can see, he's nice to the fans and the people that come to see him, because he has a big following, and he can do that, and his voice carries over the whole Fremont Street experience.
Man, oh, you're gonna like this question from Chris, Nat, and Frank. How do you like pumping your own gas now?
Oh.
We talked about that. Ron's got to pump his own gas. I thought he was like, you know, I thought he was like a tech millionaire or something. He says, I don't pump gas. I didn't know you didn't pump gas over in Jersey there.
It's almost like a valet service. Like, you're not allowed to do it. They do it for you. And yeah, I've never had to do it, but I mean, it sucks, but it only sucks because if you can go to this one place, they'll do it like a valet service. But then it's just a huge pain in the ass and a huge inconvenience, because all my life I've never had to worry about getting out of the car if it's cold or if it's raining. And then if you want to pay cash, you have to kind of estimate it. In New Jersey, I would just be like, yeah, fill it up, and he would just tell me how much I owed. But yeah,
wow, I haven't done that in decades. I don't even remember what that's like. Do they do your windshield too and everything? Like
no.
Mayberry, or just the gas?
But the thing is, it'll be like maybe like a quarter difference between paying cash and paying credit card, even though the credit card it's more convenient. It's just, I'm just so frugal. I'm just like, I mean, I'll do it for the convenience if it's too cold or whatever, but I'll estimate it.
A quarter's a quarter. Oh, I got another question here. Charlie M says, hey, Ron, long term, would you consider Las Vegas a place to retire?
Yes. And I would say, because I see a lot of retirees, and that gives me hope, because I see a lot of young people and a lot of people moving fast, but I see a lot of people. So it gives me hope that I can be an older guy in this city if I want to. We'll see how it goes. But right now, I don't want to leave. It's just, and some of it's the seasonal. I think there's truth to seasonal affective disorder or whatever, because I'd be so depressed sitting in that house in New Jersey in the rain and the cold winter that's about to hit them. They're about to have a cold winter. And it's roulette in New Jersey. You might get a cold winter, or you might get 15 inches of snow and be completely paralyzed.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember those days. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna take like 2 or 3 more questions. All right, Mary Leathers asks Ron, what local off-strip casinos do you enjoy frequenting?
I'm still getting that list together, but I like aquariums. So, and I've been to Silverton. So I am going to check out that mermaid thing. Plus, I hear they have a bunch of good deals. Yeah, you know what? This was my first time actually being in an, because now I can drive. It's just when I used to come here, it was just on the bus, so I used to stick to the strip pretty.
Yeah, now you have the freedom to go and explore.
And
Let's see. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's some that I've checked out, like Tuscany. Tuscany's small.
It's tiny.
Yeah, tiny. So I'm still exploring. Ellis Island's pretty cool.
Silver Sevens, I would take a pass on.
And I keep hearing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's tiny, and they actually they basically frisk you to get in because the amount of trouble that they have in there. I definitely wouldn't recommend that place whatsoever. But that's just me. Angie asks, do you think this will be your forever home?
Yes. yes. At the end of Deep Space Nine, they go, Cisco is a Bajor. I am a Vegas. So I'm hoping it is, but the healthcare has me concerned. So maybe as I get older, I'll take some trips away.
Right.
But it's just the surrounding area. To wake up and be surrounded by the mountains, just the little things. It feels like I'm in a Star Trek episode or something. And some of it was filmed out there. So it's just like, oh, okay, well, you kind of are.
Yeah, the Gorn. One of the TOSs was filmed out there. I know for sure. Phil wants to know, he says, hey, Ron, how safe do you feel at home and going around town?
Pretty safe. And the first couple days I was here, because you make these choices, but you're not there 24 hours a day. Yeah, you can check it out at night. You make the choices, you hope for the best. My first couple days here, I felt pretty safe. I didn't see I didn't while I was here, but I did. It was confirmed. So, I do feel pretty safe, but I'm more vigilant than I would be in New Jersey because, we saw it happen to you on a video where you were by the Caesars thing and the guys came up from you behind and were trying to pick your pocket from behind. And it was just like,
yeah, I avoided a potential assault day. So you do have to keep your head on a swivel for sure. But overall, you feel
it's
safe as long as you're vigilant.
You have to be aware that, like you talked about, you're not the baddest thing anymore. So there's guys on that maybe have had too much to drink, so, it's best to just walk away if somebody's getting weird. But I haven't had that experience, but I did see a guy get knocked out cold on the strip a couple of years ago. Just happened to be around Planet Hollywood. This was like 5 or 6 years ago, but the cop was right there. So, he was able to, apprehend the guy pretty quickly.
All right. I have one more question for you. And while you answer it, I'm going to pull up your YouTube channel. So I'm going to put you on the big screen right after I ask the question, which I don't think I've ever asked or we ever talked about. When was the first time you came to Vegas?
Oh,
what was your initiation getting into Vegas?
Well, I was 20.
And okay, it's a two-parter because this might take me a minute or two. So that's one question. Number 2 is everyone's going to want to know if you ever saw the Star Trek experience over at, what is now the Westgate.
Yes. And okay, I'm going to answer that. So, my first time coming here, I came with, my mentor, my friend, my captain, my father. who he took me there, and I came here specifically to see that. But I was 21, and at the time I drank, so I just could not believe coming from New Jersey, you could drink in the street. Um, Alcohol was like $1 back then. They were like giving it away. So you could as a 21-year-old you could just get plastered for just not that much money because they were just tossing it at you. Um, and I came here to see the Star Trek experience, and they had blue beer. Um, And I can describe the ride for you for those of you who didn't go. As an Uber Deep Space Nine fan, they rebuilt the promenade, the set, and it was as it was on the bottom, but you could see the top, and it was like 3/4 scale, so you could look out the windows, and you really felt like you were on Deep Space Nine. And the shops were built out of the promenade, where Odo's office would be. There was a Quark's bar uh, that was built with the specifications on the show. Um, they had aliens back then. I mean, now you can kind of do the makeup, but back then you really hadn't seen real looking Klingons, real looking Vulcans, real. So I mean, they had actors that they hired specifically to do that. So you'd go in, and you'd go into Deep Space Nine, which was unless you'd gone to the set, it was the closest you could have gotten. They had a museum, and they had a ride after you went through this museum. You went into a room, and the best way I can describe it is you got beamed up. You could feel the wind, you could see the sparkles, and you were on the Enterprise D, and they rebuilt that set. They had actors, and you walk through the hallway, um, and you end up on the bridge, and there's Riker there, and Riker and Geordi were part of the ride. The ship is getting attacked by Klingons. You're
I
on
remember that. And they'd have
but
the people usher you in and usher you out down the hallway with that whole sense of urgency. That was fun. That was sad that it closed.
it forced me to
Ron,
learn about camera angles because I thought that the bridge was a lot smaller than it was on television. But I mean, Star Trek forced me to learn about camera angles.
True. You'd be surprised.
And there was a motion simulator ride where you were in a runabout, and Geordi's talking to the actor LeVar Burton, Jonathan Frakes. They're doing their roles. They're just talking to you in a different part of the ship, and you could see full window view, and the ships on the screen that they had. The best way to describe it is they looked like life size, and then you actually have a phaser battle over the Las Vegas Strip and fly right over Siegfried and Roy's head. I guess that footage would be pretty dated. I didn't see their show, but I remember at the time they were $100, and that was just like, oh my god! Like people were just freaking out. They're $100.
Huge amount of money, I know. So
Probably
I'm going to show everyone your YouTube page real quick. Let me pop over there. This is Ron's page, so go over and give Ron some love. I am subscribed to you. Don't let that fool you. This is my generic computer. And let's see. Let me pop one up real quick here. When Ron was speaking in the beginning about his room being set up, have a look at that. Let's pop that on real quick. That is pretty impressive. Let me get the audio. Let me see if we can get some audio on that.
Scattering trilithium resin throughout the atmosphere of Solosos 3. I will thereby make the planet uninhabitable to all human life for the next 50 years. I suggest evacuation plans begin immediately. What are you waiting for, people? Carry out your orders.
That was awesome dialogue right there, and you even got the shirt pulled down to a science there. Let me find another one real quick. How long is this? All right, let's see this here.
So I lied. I cheated. I bribed men to cover the crimes of other men. I'm an accessory to murder. But the most damning thing of all, I think I can live with it. And if I had to do it all over again, I would. Garrick was right about one thing. A guilty conscience is a small price to pay for the safety of the Alpha Quadrant. So I will learn to live with it. Because I can live with it. Computer, erase that entire personal log.
Awesome work there, brother. All right, so go check out Ron's. Let me get that. So let me get everyone over to Ron's channel. Go check him out. Well worth it. He is a longtime friend of the show, friend of mine, and go show him some love too. So Ron, I appreciate you hanging out. I appreciate you coming on, and I'll ping you over the next couple of days. Maybe we'll go, I don't know, Friday or Saturday night. We'll go downtown and we'll do some live streaming and have some fun. How's that sound?
That'll be a lot of fun. I look forward to it. And it was nice to chat with all my friends.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, Ron. And thank you for your time and being on. And I'll see you in a couple days.
And on that note, Ron, out.
You got it, brother. Well, that was awesome. I appreciate Ron being here. Let me switch to this angle over here. All right. So that was fun. I hope you appreciated that. If you are indeed considering, I got to move all my stuffs, moving to Las Vegas. Ron did it. You can do it too. All right. Everyone says, thanks, Ron. What do we got? 129 people on. That is freaking awesome. All the love. Let's see. Wow, don't know what that is, Ron. Yeah. That was Deep Space Nine. Ron cosplays Captain Sisko from Deep Space Nine, and those are some dramatic readings that he does, and he looks the part too. So yeah, absolutely awesome. Let's see. Cruise Vet Adventures says, cool channel. Ron's a pretty cool dude, and I have to agree with that. Ron should be an actor. I do agree. He's got that down. He's got that persona down. Okay, so it is 10 after 6. I wanted to cover a little bit of news, and let's get into that like right about now. All right, let me pop me up, first of all. Yeah, there we go. That's a good thing. Let me get this mic up out of my face. So let me see how many pop-ups they tossed me so far. Looks like a butt ton. But anyway, in case you haven't noticed, yesterday on the strip, several hundred gathered to support. I don't even know if I can say this word because of the censor boat. Can't even say that word. You gotta code everything and play with everything. Censor boating. But Clarence Thomas is calling big tech to the carpet, saying that he's gonna try to introduce legislation whereby to not allow people to have the freedom of peaches. Yet another code we got to talk in is a form of discrimination. That's where the legislation is going to come in, because you're not allowed to discriminate in housing based on someone's political or ideological beliefs. You're not allowed to discriminate when it comes to housing. You're not allowed to discriminate for any said services, and big tech being a service, Clarence Thomas is making a ruling that says they cannot discriminate based on people's ideology. Of course, harmful speech is, a whole different issue, and it's been up for wild interpretation by big tech because they want to control the narrative. But shout out to Clarence Thomas for being the voice of reason. And if he gets his way, I won't have to say censor boat, freedom of peaches, or real is anymore. And we can just go back to talking like freedom-loving Americans. That being said, hundreds gather on the Strip to support real is. So, yeah, I saw a couple of pictures of what was taking place down there. A couple of people were, I don't know if they were scared or whatever, but, some people were like, oh, my God, should we actually go down there? But it wasn't a protest per se. People do come out. People do use the Strip as a soapbox to, I still have my speaker in my ear. Let me get rid of that. They do use it as a soapbox to voice their opinions. Sometimes they drive up and down the Strip. So yes, there was some support for the real is, because that's what we got to say. Our government, our administration is kind of nowhere to be found. People getting very emotional, of course. You can see the opponents to the real is, they are currently celebrating. They're celebrating all over America. They're celebrating all over Europe. There have been citizen... I don't even know how I can say it. Some citizens have been deleted, and hundreds have been captured. A lot of them are young women. And I've actually seen stories on Twitter that's, is glorifying how well they're being treated. If you want to believe that narrative, because suddenly they're great people over there. And the other thing that you will notice if you're following the beginnings of World War III and some biblical prophecy coming to pass is that they are using the pew-pews and gear and tactical equipment that was left behind by our current administration in Afghanistan. They are not using the typical stuff. They are using the stuff that our administration left in Afghanistan against the real is. These people here. And young ladies like her are currently being held hostage over there. And our administration is going to do probably nothing about that because we're helping another part of World War III currently with billions and billions of dollars. So that's what happened yesterday. That's right. It was in front of the V and the P. And that's horrific if you actually have family there. And of course, the only place that you'll get halfway decent coverage about the entire situation is on Twitter, aka X. So yeah, that's what we saw yesterday. Can you believe it? Our own stuff being used against us. In my opinion, that was what happened in Afghanistan, leaving our people and billions and billions of dollars of equipment over there. That was the largest arms transfer, arms deal in the world's history. But I digress. Let's get into something a little more cheery. The Durango reveals its first look at the rooms. Let's check out what the Durango is over on Durango. Over on the west-southwest part of town. It is opening up in December. And they decided to bust with their rooms and let us have a look at them. I mean, it looks pretty typical. You know, got the bar, you know, God forbid you touch anything over here, they're going to charge you, yada, yada, yada. I have to post a picture on the Bror Nation site of the latest thing in Las Vegas are refrigerators that if you open them and put your own leftover cheeseburger inside, you get a charge. Like they can actually sense if something that you happen to have gets put in the refrigerator and you get a charge for using the refrigerator. That's a new thing. I have proof. I'll show you. I'll put a picture up on the Bror Nation Facebook group. It'll sense if there's something that's not supposed to be in there, and it says, if you need a refrigerator for medical purposes or for your own food, one can be provided at an additional cost. Or you could put your shit in this one, and we're going to charge you anyway. Imagine that. Yikes. But yeah, don't touch these with a 10-foot pole. MGM is notorious for leaving bottles of water around various parts of the room when you check in case you haven't noticed. They'll put like a bottle over here. They'll put a bottle over there. They'll put a bottle over here. And it doesn't say, or unless, you know, I mean, who reads a little shit? Oh, God forbid you drink that bottle of water. It's not complimentary. It's $18. But they strategically place it in other places besides this rack, which everyone knows you're going to get charged for, and they make it seem complimentary until you find out otherwise. I think I seen a super chat slide on by. Let me check that real quick. Yes, I have my first super chat from Maria for 10 Bananaramas. Thank you very much. Oh, in advance for the downtown spankage. Yeah, we're gonna spank like freaks. Should we decide to go down there? And I guess that's another one of their rooms. Like they'll place like 3 bottles of water here, and you know, someone will just drink one. It'll be like a $30 charge. But that's a nice view. I kind of dig that contemporary look. That's their bathrooms. It's a pretty big bathroom. I'll tell you what. Oh, I just got buzzed. What was that buzzing? Oh, yeah, there's the bar that shall not be touched. There's the drinkage. All right, a little vanity area, yada, yada. The Lucy and Ricky bed situation, separate beds. I like the lighter tones. I'm not going to lie. This goes back to, like, the 80s. Remember, like, when bleached oak was a thing back in the 80s? Yikes, I grew up looking at that. All right, what else do we have here? Decent floor. Yeah, I like the color scheme. I find that very kind of, I mean, I wouldn't put it in my own place, but I find it kind of soothing. That, like, I think the correct terminology is mauve. Most uncomfortable thing ever, but at least they have it. But though, yeah, those are a bit uncomfortable. I speak from experience, but that's kind of a nice setup. So that's what we can look forward to from the Durango. And yes, we will go there for the grand opening, which is, let's see, the casino is scheduled. It's not 100% set in stone yet. Scheduled to open on November 20th. So yeah, we'll be there with bells on. I already checked the internet in the area, not in the casino, but in the area, and it's ripping. So we'll have fun. All right, let's see what else I want to cover in the last 10 minutes we have here. Average price of a home sold in September in the Las Vegas Valley was $450,000. So they're pretty much pricing them out of, you know, for a lot of younger couples, a lot of millennials and Gen Z and Gen X and all that. I mean, that's a big nut to crack. $450 being the average home here in Las Vegas. Couple that with 6%, 7% interest. You know, last administration, it was like a 0.7, you know, so you tackle that in. That makes your deposit close to $75,000 and your mortgage pretty freaking expensive, you know? I mean, you're looking at $5,000 to pay for the average house here, plus, you know, all the other, it's not as cheap as it used to be, but, you know, it's still a deal going from California, though, 450K. But what they're not saying is that's like a 1,700 square foot home. That's no McMansion. That's a 1,700 square foot home. Might even say it somewhere down there. Does it even? No, see, they're going to perpetrate the fraud. They're going to let you think that that's like for a 2,800 square foot house, but most likely that's the average price of a 15 to 1,700 square foot house. Oh my God, I got bit. I got 2 bites since I've been back from Nashville, and yeah, these little bastards, I don't know if it was them or something else. It's some unique species of mosquito that has found its way into Las Vegas, probably released or something from a lab somewhere, or maybe, someone ate who knows? Maybe it came from Wuhan, who cares? Who knows? But anyway, turned up here in 2017. We have a mosquito problem. How are they frickin' surviving here? Aren't they supposed to be dead? They are known, this species, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that, but the species is known as the yellow fever mosquito. Frickin' yikes. It's aggressive and has spread to 32 zip codes in the past 6 years. Hopefully I don't get bit by one. Hopefully you don't get bit by one, but I saw a video that I have to post in... Mic check. That was odd. I think that camera just froze up on me. Let me get rid of that. Put that back up there. All right, let's do that again. All right, looks like had a little technical difficulty there for a second. All right, that looks like those little buggers, like I just said, I got bit by a few. It was not pleasant. I don't think it's that little nasty thing that I showed you, left the hooks in you, but I do have a video of New York City. They've been driving around New York City for the past week or so, spraying crap into the environment, and it's pretty scary. I found it someone sent it to me on Instagram. They're like, you have to see this. And they're going down with the lights on with this giant truck that's hosing some type of pesticide and pollution to kill bugs into the streets, all over your house, all over your car. Who knows what the hell's in there, but I ain't looking forward to finding out. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to get into real quick. I do not think so. So let's see. Oh, one last thing. The holiday cactus garden lights are going to return to Ethel M's, and I think I might do the cactus garden as a members only live stream due to the music. On a members only live stream, I don't care what kind of music they play, so we can go have fun there. If that's something you want to do, let me know down in the comments, and we can do that. I think that would be a blast. And that runs it's coming up quick, Friday, November 3rd to the 31st, from 5 p.m. to 10. I know I had fun, and we had Ron on. It is about 6:30 right now, and I got some business to conduct, and I got some places to go, and I gotta go poke me some doggies. So I'm going to invite you one last time to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. And if you'd like to support the channel, I would totally appreciate that. It's my Tribble. My Tribble don't like not having its hat on. It got all comfortable. Okay, Tribble. There you go. And tomorrow I got some more exciting stuff. Friday we got our AMA, Ask Me Anything, which I might do from the True Bar. Maybe not in the studio. I might do it there because it's fun being all hyped up on Americanos from there, like double Americano. Maybe might even be triple. They just jazz me up. And then Saturday we'll be back on the strip, but I got a whole bunch of stuff planned out between now and then. I do cut up some of the live streams into separate videos. And on this past Saturday night, I went off. We covered a ton of stuff. I covered feminism. I covered relationships. I covered what men want, how men think. I just went off and spanned the spectrum of stuff, and I'm going to cut that into a separate video. And as you've been seeing me do that with other things too, and that's, some of you have seen it, some of you haven't, but that's to, I'm trying to train the YT algorithm to expand my audience into, different subject matter that's not just Vegas related. So again, if you'd like to support my efforts, I do appreciate it, because it's your support that keeps this channel going. It's not the ads. It's not all that stuff, because ads, ads are minuscule compared to the support that you provide on a personal level and a financial level. So I do appreciate when you do all the stuff down there. And I love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out. Oops.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.